There we go. So we'll go over what FSE is. So FSE is just abbreviation for a full spectrum extract. And what that means is it has everything out of the hemp plant. So terpenes, flavonoids, fatty acids, cannabinoids, THC. And what that does is it maximizes your benefits and it gives your body something called homeostasis, because our endocannabinoid system, it's ran off of balance. So when our body isn't balanced because it's disrupted by something, or our body isn't able to, make up for the endocannabinoids that our body's losing, then we start running into more issues, anxiety, stress, insomnia, depression, and the list goes on and on. So, and that's just because our body gets put out of place. So then when you're taking a product like ReAction, when it is a true full spectrum, it gives your body homeostasis, which is extremely important and very important for, the human body to have homeostasis, which is balance.
And the entourage effect.
So we're going to go over a couple different questions that, a lot of people ask. So go over frequently asked questions. And one of those questions that people always ask me is, how often should I use the full spectrum? So some people, do it once a day. Some people do it twice a day. And what I've noticed that works, best for a lot of people is around every 12 hours. Just like anything else, vitamins, any other medications, you're usually taking it around every 12 hours, which is morning, nighttime, around 8 in the morning, 8 at night is usually around 12 hours. And why you do that is because your body's constantly filtering itself out. So with a true full spectrum like these products, your body's able actually to absorb 100% of it, because we use something called nanotechnology, which is extremely important. And that's why when, your body's still going to be able to filter some of it out. So that's why it's extremely important to be trying to, when you suggest somebody to use it, to have them do it in the morning and also how to do it at night. And then also I'll go over briefly on how to find the average dosage. So that's a frequently asked question as well. Is people always ask me, what is the average dose? How do I start somebody off with this? So I always start off with the average, which is 33.3 milligrams. And of course, if it's more a severe case, if somebody has cancer or if somebody's going through something, fibromyalgia, usually the average dosage works for fibromyalgia, but whenever somebody would take an ibuprofen or something extra, you can always just instead sub it out with an extra tincture or a capsule or a cream, however you dosage. But one of the most important things is, starting off with the average. You never really want to start off too low. And that's another, thing that I keep saying is some people are like, well, I want to start off small and then start building up in my system. But with a lot of people, you want them to start off, with a good amount of dosage, because if they're not going to feel it, then they're not going to keep doing it, or it's going to take too long for it to get into their system. And then another thing is with children, it's a little bit different with the average dosage. So they need a higher milligram. And I mean, every child's different, just like every, adult's different. With a child, you kind of want to start them off with a higher dosage instead of the 33.3. I always suggest doing, a full dropper in the morning, full dropper at night, and something in the afternoon, if that's right when they get out of school, or if they're not in school, starting it right then in the afternoon around lunchtime. It's extremely important.
Or they could do a piece of fudge or one of the chocolates.
Edibles, something whatever your child dosages with best. But how you find the average dosage, so just say a tincture bottle, for example, they're a 30 milliliter bottle. The actual eyedropper syringe itself is 1 milliliter. So if you do the math on it, you can do, 500 milligrams divided by 30, and that's going to end up 16.6666. And then if you times that by 2, then you get your 33.3, which is the average dosage. And it's the same thing with 1,000 milligrams, because they're both the same size bottle. If you do 30 milliliters divided by 1,000 milligrams, you're going to get the average dosage of 33.3. So then you know that a full dropper is 33.3 milligrams. So I always suggest, doing a half in the afternoon or in the morning and half at night. Or if you're somebody like my grandma and grandpa that put they use is a tincture in the morning and then a capsule at night. So, I mean, everybody just depends, but I always suggest people starting off with the average. You never want to start off too little. That's extremely important.
And also with children, the reason why they require more is because they have a higher metabolism. So they're burning a lot of, like they're going a lot faster.
Their body's
than we
constantly filtering it
And
out. That's why a lot of them are thinner, and you hear a lot of people that are older than you saying, oh, just wait till you get older. You won't be able to eat like that. I get that constantly.
Well, yeah.
So one important topic that we wanted to talk about today is how important your, endocannabinoid system is, but also how important sleep is to your body and what stress does to your body. So as a lot of, people know, and some people don't take it too big when somebody says, oh, I have anxiety. Anxiety is a extremely big thing, and so is stress. And any research that you do behind it, it's not going to say that it's deadly to you, because of course it's not. But stress, what it does to your body is it constantly has your body working. You're always worked up. Your mind's constantly racing. Not only is that, hurting your body, but also on top of that, it's hurting, your personality and your sleep. And sleep, I can't even tell you how important sleep is. When you're not actually getting you're not getting fully to sleep, which it would be something called REM sleep, your body's not able to heal itself. So if you have something going on, or if you have, pains, aches, your body is not going to be able to repair itself if you're not getting to your deepest sleep. And your deepest sleep is when you should start being able to notice that you're dreaming, or, your husband or your wife notice that you're, talking in your sleep, which is a really good sign that you're getting to your full REM sleep. So just to go over a little bit on EPIC for anxiety. So anxiety is your body's response to stress. The symptoms, can vary. A lot of it's fast heart rate, high blood pressure, sweating, feeling tired, rapid breathing. Those are pretty intense side effects. And I know personally that it can make you feel extremely uncomfortable for somebody to go through that on a day-to-day basis. A fly could land on me and I could start having an anxiety attack for no reason. And it definitely was something that, constantly was in the back of my head, like, oh my God, am I going to have an anxiety attack, which then started to cause my anxiety. Pretty much anything. And when you're constantly stressing out like that, it's definitely having an impact on your body and everything else that, your day-to-day life. So it's extremely important to maintain stress levels and blood pressure levels and feel comfortable in your own skin. So what FSC does is it actually targets, your entire body, but mainly your CB1 receptors, which is your brain and your central nervous system. And that helps reduce the stress levels and also helps a lot of the symptoms that come along with anxiety. And the same for, full spectrum for sleeping. It's extremely, important. It doesn't make you tired, but it helps you relax. So, of course, if you take a higher milligram, when you're first starting it, some people feel a little bit drowsy. Not everybody does. Usually within 30 minutes and you fight past it, you're not as drowsy anymore and you get the opposite effect. But somebody that's, starting off with the average dosage, let's just say if you're doing it the tincture way, doing a dropper in the morning, a dropper at night. Once your body's used to it, at nighttime, it's going to help you relax enough. So whenever you fall asleep, it helps your body get your REM sleep, which is what you need. And then in the afternoon, because you're having a good sleep, it kind of gives you the opposite effects. When you take it in the afternoon, it helps you wake up, be energized, be focused, creative. So it's really important to take something like a full spectrum. And how important it is I have people all day long when I talk to them, okay, so you have inflammation and pain. Well, this is also going to help your anxiety and, stress levels. Well, I don't have anxiety and stress levels. I hear that on a day-to-day basis, and it's like, okay, you may not think you're dealing with it, but when you constantly are getting so used to something, being stressed out, feeling a certain way, of course you're not going to think you have an issue because you already told yourself, and you're telling yourself that every day, and you're just so used to it by then that you don't know any different. And it's extremely important, to be taking something to maintain that, just because of pharmaceutical medications and stuff that I've read a lot about for anxiety and sleep have extremely bad side effects behind it. Not only what it does to your body, but also how, you know, it makes you feel. With anxiety medication, it pretty much just numbs your feelings in general. It's not just helping your anxiety, it's numbing everything. With sleeping, a lot of people get night terrors. You're not actually feeling like you're falling asleep. You just feel like you passed out and you're like, oh, well, I guess I slept, which the whole point of sleeping is feeling refreshed. And when you're not getting that, there's really no point in taking something like that. So definitely those two are extremely important, but I think we'll go over now a little bit about all the products.
Well, I did want to say one thing. A lot of times, and you can think as I tell you this, when you have a lot of anxiety can cause a lot of inflammation. I kind of look at it like anxiety, stress, inflammation, disease, and it kind of works in that. So if we can kick out the anxiety at the top, the rest will fall into order and you'll start to see an improvement. I have a lot of people say, excuse me, I don't have a lot of people. I have some people say, I took the product and it didn't do anything for me. And then after, say if they took it for a month, a few days later, they're like, okay, I need the product. I've got to take the product. I feel like crap. What happens is when you have chronic pain, you learn to live with it. Your body learns to adjust to it and you learn to live with it. When it goes away, you don't so much notice that. But when you're taking a product like FSC and it does take it away and you don't notice it, when you quit taking the product, the pain comes back with a vengeance. Is the pain worse? No, it's where it was when you started. But the thing is, you learn to live with it, and then when it goes away and it comes back, it's almost like it comes back with a vengeance. So I have a lot of people tell me, well, I don't have any, I really don't have anything going on. And two things that I tell people, and in fact, I told somebody today, look at FSC as a multivitamin for your endocannabinoid system. Your endocannabinoid system needs its nutrition, which is the endocannabinoids and all the things that the hemp plant has in it. Look at, if you think you don't have anything wrong with you, look at that as being a multivitamin first. And for two, this will help. If you can get rid of the anxiety, it's going to help you to sleep better. It's going to help you to be more relaxed during the day. Being able to, I talked to somebody today that has a lot of anxiety over different things, job, different things that are going on in his life right now. And since he's been taking the products, now he suffered with this for years, not just recently, for years. And he says, when a situation comes up, I'm a lot more mellow. I'm not freaking out. I'm not like having panic attacks. I'm being able to cope with the situation, whatever that might be, on a whole different level now. So the products, the anxiety, I just don't think that people understand. And when I talk about anxiety, when you're driving on the interstate and someone cuts you off, the first thing you're doing is either flipping them off or cussing them or saying something bad because you're mad. That's anxiety. And some people obviously have it worse, but if we can cut some of that and make it so, oh, that guy cut me off, hope he has a nice day. That's where we hope that you taking the products, that it can cut down on even that kind of anxiety. And if we can cut that down, your body's going to be a lot healthier and you're going to feel better. So that's my 2 cents on that.
Yes, and it always works first. You usually start noticing first is anxiety and stress, and then later on, you know, your harder symptoms, like if it is inflammation and pain, because your body does have to work together to start fighting the inflammation. So we'll go over a little bit of each product. So first we'll start with the tincture. So the tincture is something you take sublingually, which means you take it under your tongue. It has an
always shake the bottle and tell anybody that is going to use this product, shake the bottle first.
And it comes in 500 milligrams and 1,000 milligrams. And it has 3 different flavors. So it is a natural, a honey, and a blue raspberry. And then it also comes with a sample tincture, which is a 5 milliliter bottle, and it's 500 milligrams. So it's extremely concentrated. A little eyedropper. And then we have the capsules. So the capsules comes in 2 different types. There is a 1,000 milligram, which is a 30-day supply, and then there you go, and then a 7-day trial you get out of the 250 milligram capsule.
And this comes with samples too.
Yes, and each one of those has 33.3 milligrams in each of them. And then we have
shall we go
the
topicals.
So the topicals, we have 3 different formulas. You have your Revive, your Recovery, and your Relief. Those come in pump, which is the pump bottles, which is more of an oil based. And then we have those comes in salves as well. So a salve is like a Vaseline almost. And then we have the sample creams, and those little guys are extremely concentrated as well. All have 2,100 milligrams in them.
Do be careful when you squirt this out, because you don't want to squirt out a bunch. That little bit will do your whole neck and shoulders. So
yeah, because it is more of an oil base, so it will, be able to absorb faster. And then we have the edibles, which are these guys. Each of them are 10 milligrams a piece, and it comes 4 in a pack. We have the fudge, chocolate, and caramel. So the fudge has 4 different flavors: key lime, thin mint, watermelon, and chocolate. And then we have the chocolates. So the chocolates come in 4 different flavors as well, and those are strawberry, orange, chocolate, and coffee. Boom! I always mess up those. Caramels, which those come 4 in a box as well. It's chocolate covered caramels, and those are dark chocolate and milk chocolate. And then of course we have the pet line. So for the pet line, it has the capsule and the pet tincture, and then it also has the syringe. So the capsules you can either just put in cheese or however you usually give your animals pills. The tincture you can either give it right in their mouth, on their food, or on a treat. And then with the syringe, you can almost treat that, just put it right on the treat and give it to your animals. So those are perfect, all of them, just depending on how you want to dose your animal, whatever's easiest for you.
And we have the salve. Did you say the salve?
And the salve. So she's been trying out the salve, actually.
Well, actually, I've started a new, hopefully, great testimony. I have a lot of problems. I've got my 2 older dogs, Larry and Lucy, which you've probably seen them on my Facebook if you've been on my Facebook page. And they're 17 years old, and they're having really bad coughing fits. And I think it's probably because they're getting older, and it's probably congestive heart failure. But I started thinking about that today when I was at work, and I use Relief Cream on my chest and my throat, because right now with the winter coming, I've caught a bit of a bug a couple of weeks ago, and so I was putting the Relief Cream on my neck and throat, and it really helped with my coughing. So now I have Australian Shepherds, so they have a lot of fur, and so I kept thinking, how am I going to get this on them? So I pumped this on, and I put it on their neck, and I went down to where I believe their heart is, and I rubbed on the cream, and so far
only Larry's coughed up
but
once.
just a little tiny bit.
Yeah.
And I'm going to rub it on their chest again and on their heart area, and I'm going to hopefully have a really great testimony with the Relief Cream for my dogs with their congestive heart failure.
That's the first thing I noticed when I came home. Well, came over. Kind of home. And then we have, of course, the lip balm, and those are for voluptuous lips. Or you can just use it for if you have any cold sores, or if you have cracked lips, if you have,
especially
right now it's getting cold.
Exactly.
And then for the star product of the night, Revive.
Ta-da!
So Revive is one of the formulations out of the topical brand. These guys come in pump, salve, and then also the samples as well, just like the other ones. But to give a little bit more detail about what Revive is, so of course it's 2,100 milligrams of FSC, the full spectrum extract. And then it also has the proprietary blend of Revive. So the special formula, so nobody can copy it. And then we have grapeseed oil. So grapeseed oil, if anybody doesn't know, it's moisturizing, anti-inflammatory. It doesn't clog your pores, and it's really good for sensitive skin, which is really awesome for a lot of people, especially with why Revive is used. So Revive is an anti-aging. It has so many things:
Skin,
acne, eczema, rosacea, psoriasis. There's so many
bug
benefits
bites.
behind it. Bug bites is a big one. Revive is extremely popular. There's been a lot of testimonies on the Feel the Reaction Facebooks for people using it for an anti-aging, wrinkles, dark spots, which is really amazing. So that's why we wanted to research a little bit more about, you know, what this company does and put so much research behind to give you the best of the best.
Right.
So, and then there's, of course, the word that stumbles me every time, jojoba oil.
Girl.
It's an anti-inflammatory. It reduces redness. It's great for eczema and rosacea, and it's a damage control and repair for your skin, which is awesome. And then there is geranium. So it actually is used. It's her parents' favorite flower, and it's really good for tightening skin. It's an anti-aging. A lot of people use it for anti-aging on their skin, and it's an anti-inflammatory, which is amazing. And then, of course, vitamin E oil, which is very, very, you know, common, has a lot of benefits behind it. Some of the ones that I just wrote down to tell you guys that I feel that are really important for skin. It blocks radicals from your body, which actually helps the skin, you know, process of repairing, which is awesome. It's moisturizing, and then it's also an anti-inflammatory. And then, of course, the beeswax, which is pretty cool because it doesn't clog your pores, and it's an anti-inflammatory. So not clogging your pores is really important. And then lavender. So lavender is really good for acne, wrinkles, lightening your skin. So the last one is rosemary oil. So rosemary oil is good for maintaining your oil balance in your skin, and it's also an anti-inflammatory, and it removes excess water, which I didn't know. It's pretty cool. So any extra water that you would have that would create the puffiness of your face, it actually removes that. Anytime anybody gets like puffy under their eyes, it removes it, which is awesome. So one of the most important parts that I really like to talk about to people, even if you're using a tincture or even just a Revive cream for people that use, you know, I use it for acne issues. On one side of my family, they have extremely bad skin, and constantly you're having to wash it. And, you know, I don't know if it's either dry skin or too oily skin, but constantly having to do something to it. And, you know, I never got anywhere with it until I actually started using the Revive cream and taking the oil, because, you know, having anti-inflammatory, antibacterial is extremely important. But what's really cool about, you know, FSC and having a true full spectrum and all of the, you know, oils and stuff that they put into it to give it the, you know, lotion base, is only targets the bad cells. So whenever you're rubbing that topical on and it starts to, you know, attack all those cells, that it's only targeting bad cells and trying to correct them. So when you're taking something like, you know, medication or anything like that for your skin, that it's actually targeting all your cells. So when you see the bad side effects behind certain medications, it's because either it's a lot of dry skin, irritated skin, because it's actually targeting all your cells, which is going to cause it to be itchy and, you know, have a lot more issues than what you started with. So that's one of the most important things that I really like to tell people, is that it's only targeting what needs to be targeted.
And they, again, like I told you last week, every product comes with a trifold that's full of information about the specific product, and these are available for you to look at and to get more information about the product. Or if you want to send it to your friend or your mom, you can send along a trifold with it, so she or he can take, you know, the information and learn more about the product. Very, very cool.
And then Wendy, I just saw, wrote something, and that's exactly what I was trying to say, and I literally was having a blank, is anxiety is emotional, mental, and physical. And it's extremely true. I got a little bit of everything when I first started taking these products. Before I started taking these products, I had emotional, mental, and physical anxiety issues.
But it saved you from taking a prescription drug.
Yep.
Thank goodness that her mom was against that and started her out on a CBD product that was a night and day difference, because her anxiety caused her to hyperventilate. And when her mom took her to the doctors to find out, she thought she might have asthma problems. And all along it was anxiety that was causing it. So the product, when she started taking it originally, really made a night and day difference in how she reacted during the day.
And one big thing that I will say is when I don't sleep for a while and I'm extremely tired, I notice my anxiety to start kick up. So sleep is definitely, anybody that has anxiety issues, sleep is extremely important. Anytime I'm overly tired or I notice being drowsy, I notice, I used to notice, I don't have the issue anymore, but my breathing start to, differ, and I would start getting cranky, but that's normal. So some announcements that we are extremely excited to share is that ReAction is now started a new blog. So anybody that knows anything about blogs, that you can actually go right to the Feel the Reaction page, which you can watch this right now, and click on where it says blog, and it's extremely awesome because all you need to do is just sign up so you can go start listening to the blog. Now
there's motivational guest speakers, doctors, recipes, which you saw the pumpkin recipe that I'm going to try, anything that's new going on, and it will be updated a couple times a week. So that is really awesome. So go on there and subscribe to it, and you'll get those whenever anything news on there, it'll come up for you.
And it's a great way so you can, see what other people are doing, get some tips. I mean, anything that's motivational, like when I watch Billy and Jeff Zoom, I am extremely motivated right after words, and it makes me want to go out there and start sharing ReAction with everybody. So it's extremely important. If I can get that all the time and read up on it weekly, that'd be pretty awesome. So definitely go on the Feel the Reaction page and go sign up just to start reading a little bit about the ReAction blog. And then now the Zoom meetings are on the website. So both websites. You can go to the My Life Simple or Feel the Reaction page. Scroll down, and right where you would see all the little icons for the Instagram, Facebook, and all that stuff, you'll have the little the little red icon, and you can click on that and you go look at all the past week's Zooms.
Right, and then the ReAction's Facebook and Twitter and Instagram's on there, and we suggest that you share all of anything on there. You can share. It's really awesome. And then on the Feel the Reaction and or My Life Simple, we have a testimony. They have the testimonies. They are really, really awesome testimonies on there. So Victoria, a lot of times they'll call me or text me. It's like, Nana, do you have anybody that is suffering from psoriasis? And and I'll tell her my people who have that. Or now she can go straight to the ReAction testimony page, and she can see on there. And anybody that has a testimony with any of the products, no matter how small you might think it is, it could be really life-changing for somebody else. So submit your testimonies in to support at My Life Simple, because we're not doctors and we can't make any medical claims, but there are some very, very awesome testimonies on there. And some of them are very simple testimonies. But I know that a couple of the people that have gone on there and said, oh my gosh, somebody else has got the same thing I do. So those are very, very cool. And I'm sure the company would be very appreciative if you could send up any of your testimonies in there.
And not even only just the company, but everybody else alone. Like anybody that goes on there that's just reading about it. I mean, it'd be really amazing, you know, because when I shared my first testimony, and all it was is I didn't go into depth. If you want to go read my testimony, it is on the Feel the Reaction page. But mine was just anxiety and inflammation and pain issues that I posted about. And I had so many of my friends that I never even would have thought about talking to about these products message me and tell me all the stuff that they're going through and what they're struggling with. So, I mean, right then and there, a lot of my friends ended up, buying off of me just to see if it helped them. So it's definitely extremely important to go on there, share your testimonies. Anybody that you know that the ReAction has helped and changed their life, tell them to go, share their testimony to the Feel the Reaction page. So now when you go to that page, you can just go on any of those little icons and it's right there to your availability. Share anything that you'd like to share, but it's really important to go out there and, look at all those videos and go back and be able to send Zooms off to people and make people want to join those Zooms.
And also on there is the YouTube channel that you can go
and watch all the videos.
There's a lot of videos on there about the products. There's a video on there. In fact, I shared it right before the meeting, the Revive video. They're like a minute long. They're not long. And if you have a family member that might live in another state and wants to learn more about Revive, you can go on the YouTube channel and you can share it. You can text it to them, email it to them, put it on your Facebook, and that way they can see the product, and it pretty much tells a little bit of the story of the product with a lot of good information about the FSC in there. And I think there's one for every product now, isn't there?
I'm not sure.
I think most of the products are done, but that's really an awesome thing that you can share with somebody that might not be, living in your same town.
Yeah,
So.
that, and I'm extremely excited about all the Zooms being on there because I have actually a couple people that are on night shifts in my group, and they can't get to the videos sometimes, so they're always messaging me saying, can you email me that Zoom? So now it's awesome that they can actually just go on there and right afterwards it's posted there and they can go and look at it anytime they want. And then one more announcement is tomorrow is the women's meeting. That's going to be at 7. So that's going to be extremely powerful. I'm really excited about that. There's going to be, I think, 5 guest speakers.
Yes, you're going to have
5 or 6 guest speakers.
A council. You're going to have
somebody that was in a pharmacist.
There's going to be some very nice motivational speakers. It's for women only. And they'll be going over a lot of anxieties, caretakers, a lot of different things that are specifically to women. And it's going to be very powerful. I'm really excited to go to it tomorrow night. The information's on the front page of the website. And it's posted on my Facebook, Victoria's page, everybody's Facebook has got it posted.
And if you guys can't find it or anything like that, you can always reach out to us. You can reach out through our Facebooks, or also you can reach out to us through our emails. So my email is feelthereaction.victoria@gmail.com. Yours is lindyhornaday33@gmail.com, or you can just go right there to your back office and be able to see that women's meeting. If you have anybody that you would like to go to that meeting, even if you're not a woman, but if you know women that could benefit from it, definitely share it with them and let them know. So it's definitely going to be extremely powerful.
We've had a lot of people ask if it was going to be recorded. It's not going to be recorded because it's a safe space for women to come to talk about maybe some of their issues. And what the meeting's going to be about is talking to women about that and how their endocannabinoid system works, and maybe some help with some of the products. It's not going to be a sign-up recruiting meeting. This is mainly about women, their issues, how they deal with them, and how some of these products may be helpful to them. So absolutely. I'm very excited about the meeting tomorrow night. If you're in town, I believe it's in Huntersville, and you can get that information off of the website and or our Facebook.
Yep.
And
so just a reminder, like I said, the new blog is out, so you can go on there and create a little account for that, and you can go on there and be able to read all those, all the new updates. And then also, like somebody just said, is you can go on there to the YouTube and you can actually hit the subscribe button. This subscribe button means that you're going to get all the new alerts. So anytime a video is posted or there's any updates, you're going to get a notification so you can be first to go see it and you're not going to miss it. So now I think we're going to open it up to Q&A. So if anybody has any questions or testimonies or anything they'd like to share, you can go ahead and share it.
All right, somebody talk. Come on.
Kim said that she's a caregiver to her dad and worked full time. It's definitely, that's a conversation we were just having about being a caregiver. It's a lot more work than a lot of people think it is. You're in just as much stress as he is.
The caregivers are just as important because they're the ones that take care of the person. Yeah. I've been a caregiver several times. I have a testimony I want to share that I spoke about it earlier. I spoke to a man today for 3 hours, and I know this man, and I knew about his story through his son, and he's using the products. And I'll just give you a short, brief insight on his testimony. He's going to do a video for the testimony page coming up in the next week or so. But he, for 17 years, was on 2 fentanyl lollipops a day at 60 milligrams, a 300 milligram fentanyl patch, and 2 Oxycontins a day. He had 3 back surgeries and was suffering in a lot of pain. And his doctor gave him that medication. And I kind of looked at him like a deer in headlights, like, how did you function with all that medication? And he says, well, here's the deal. He says, I was always in pain taking all this medication. He says, but the medication messed with my head so much that I was able to function, but it was almost like it tricked his mind into thinking there was no pain. But he says the pain was always there. And after 17 years, he decided, I'm done with this. I'm just done. And cold turkey quit. And he said it was very miserable for a little while, coming off all the medication. And around the same time that he did that, his son started sharing ReAction products with him. And he now takes only ReAction products. And he's doing so awesome. I can't wait until he does his video, because it's such an amazing journey that he's been on. And he was telling me that when he went to his doctor and told his doctor on his last appointment with his doctor of 17 years, which is kind of unheard of that you have the same doctor for 17 years. And he says, I'm done with the medication. I can't do this anymore. And the doctor kind of looked at him and he says, I have this video that I would like you to look at and see what your thoughts are on it. So his video was a CBD video, and he put it on the bed, and the doctor looked at it, and he started the button, and he says in 5 words of the video, the doctor pushed the phone back to him and said, if that's the path you're going to go down, then I'm not your doctor. I'm not the doctor you need. And he looked at him and he says, so for 17 years, my best interests were not, you weren't taking care of my best interests. And after 17 years, he no longer sees that doctor. He says he has never felt so good in the last 17 years as he feels today. And he takes capsules in the morning and capsules at night and uses Relief cream for spot pain, which we discussed with him today. I told him to start using the cream every day on his back, just a little bit on his back and on his sore spots, so he doesn't have any fits of pain that he might have. And he says that he fishes all day now. He says he chops wood all the time. It was so amazing and inspiring to hear him, because he's in his 60s and he is living a great quality of life, and he's got full control of his mind, and he feels better. He sleeps at night, and he's so thankful that his son introduced him to these products. He says it's just been life-changing for him. So I thought that was a really awesome testimony, and I can't wait to get his video so you all can hear it.
Definitely a powerful testimony. She told me about that today.
Yeah,
So
it was awesome. So
is there anybody else before we close out the Zoom that have any questions or testimonies that they would like to share with us and everybody on? Well, that seems like it's all for tonight. Alrighty, guys.
thank you very much for joining us.
Yes, thank you guys for joining the meeting, and we will see you guys next week.
Good night.
Good night.